Oversized tabloid headlines screamed affair and betrayed. In the dim hospitality lounge, Shota Takahashi and Yuji Nakamura stood back to back in their racing suits, cold eyes fixed on nothing. The front page showed a grainy composite photo, Shota with a blurred woman's face beside the text affair.
You think I would touch Kaede? After everything we've been through on track? And you think I'd go near Ayaka? You and I may be rivals, but I would never betray my own wife.
Shota, how could you? This photo, it's you with Kaede, at a hotel I've never been to.
Yuji, tell me it's not true. You and Ayaka? In our own home while I was away?
Ayaka, it's fake. I've never been alone with Kaede. Someone doctored that image.
A setup? Who would do this? You expect me to believe that, Yuji?
Gentlemen, regrettably, the board is invoking the morality clause. Each of you faces a $20 million fine, effective immediately.
2 careers, 2 marriages, 2 lives, all hanging on a single question. Neither of them could answer yet. Who had set them up? In his plush office, team principal Daichi Yamamoto pushed a contract across his desk. The fine print spelled out a $20 million penalty for each of them.
The board has no choice. A morality clause violation. I tried to fight it, but the sponsors are furious.
That fake photo could end my career. Someone did this intentionally. Kaede won't even look at me now. If I lose this, I lose everything.
Shota retreated to his apartment and made a call. A forensic image analyst. He would prove the photo was a fake.
Find the original, the metadata, the pixels, anything that proves it's been edited.
Yuji, too, sought the truth. He dialed a different expert, one known for catching digital forgeries.
I need absolute certainty. If that image is doctored, I want the proof on my desk by morning. If I don't clear my name, Ayaka will never trust me again. Neither will the team.
Both drivers, rivals for years, were now on identical paths, racing not against each other, but against the clock and an unseen enemy. In a sterile forensic lab, the analyst magnified the tabloid photo. Pixel by pixel, the deception began to unravel.
The lighting is inconsistent here. See the shadow angle? It doesn't match the background at all.
Forensic analysis. Lighting anomaly, pixel pattern mismatch. Composite editing confirmed.
So it's fake. Someone created this specifically to destroy me.
Hours later, in a separate lab, Yuji's analyst reached the same conclusion independently.
Look at the digital watermark. The original timestamps and camera metadata don't match the composite.
Digital signature mismatch. EXIF data altered. Photo manipulation confirmed.
I knew it. But who would have access to these images? Someone inside the team.
Both analysts, working separately, had reached the same conclusion. The affair photos were expertly fabricated. The question now was not if they were framed, but by whom and why. Both analysts dug deeper, tracing the camera's serial number and the original timestamps buried in the metadata.
These originals were taken inside the team garage, near the lounge. The security log shows only one person entered at that time.
Security log, 1432 entry, D. Yamamoto. No other personnel present.
Daichi? The man who signed my contract. He was there.
In a parallel lab, Yuji's analyst cross-referenced the same data and arrived at the identical conclusion.
Mr. Nakamura, the photos were taken when only Daichi Yamamoto was in that area. The evidence is conclusive.
Our own team principal. But to what end? If it's Daichi, then this wasn't about affairs. He wanted us ruined.
Both drivers now saw the same silhouette behind the scandal. Daichi Yamamoto, the man who held their contracts and their fates. The frame was real. The culprit was identified, but the reason for his betrayal still lurked in the shadows. Shota tore through every page of his contract. After the security log, he knew Daichi was involved, but how?
A consulting fee, If both drivers are terminated, payable to Daichi Yamamoto.
Consulting fee clause. In event of dual termination for cause, principal receives equivalent of aggregate salary savings, estimated at $80 million.
He stands to make $80 million if Yuji and I are both fired. This was never about the affair.
Simultaneously, Yuji uncovered the same paragraph in his duplicate contract, the numbers glaring from the page.
80 million reasons to destroy us. Daichi planned this from the start.
The two rivals arranged a clandestine meeting. For the first time, they weren't racing. They were planning survival.
He knew we'd never agree to replace each other, so he fabricated a reason to fire us both. Then we use our rivalry as cover. We work together, dig deeper, and wait for the right moment.
An alliance was forged in secret, but the world still believed them guilty, and Daichi still held the cards. In the same abandoned warehouse, Shota and Yuji met again, this time with notebooks and a shared strategy.
We have the motive, but we need the smoking gun. The email he sent to the photo service. I have a contact who can trace offshore payments. If Daichi paid a cent for this, we'll find it.
They shook hands firmly, not as rivals, but as partners bound by a common enemy. Meanwhile, Ayaka received a courier envelope. Inside, the forensic report, undeniable proof of manipulation.
The shadows don't match. The pixel patterns. Shota was telling the truth.
Digital signatures, timestamps, all fabricated. Yuji never betrayed me.
Ayaka called Kaede, voice trembling. Within an hour, they faced each other in a quiet cafe.
The photos are fakes. Someone set up our husbands, and we believed the lie.
Two wives who had despised each other now sat united, the first cracks in the lie widening. But the mastermind still walked free. Yuji's contact traced the payment to a photo forgery service. The sender, Daichi Yamamoto.
He used his company email and credit card. The digital receipt is in our hands. That's the smoking gun. With motive and proof, we can destroy him.
But Daichi sensed the trap closing. He summoned them to his office.
I hear you've been investigating. Dig any deeper, and your careers are over.
We know about the consulting fee. You planned this.
I already have your replacements. 2 young drivers ready to sign for half the salary.
Maybe. But the truth is coming, and you won't be able to hide.
Sweat dripped from Daichi's brow. His threats were useless against their resolve. They walked out as agents of their own deliverance. The final battle awaited. Desperate, Daichi sent a private settlement offer. A bribe disguised as an olive branch. Offer: resign voluntarily, pay the fines, and receive $5 million severance each. No further investigation at the warehouse. Shota and Yuji stared at the offer.
He's scared, but this money won't buy our silence. If we take this, we admit defeat. The truth dies, and he wins. Then we do it loud. We call a press conference and burn his empire to the ground.
Daichi received their answer. A single-line email. We will see you in front of the cameras.
They think they can expose me. I'll destroy them before they ever reach the podium.
Shota and Yuji worked through the night, finalizing the dossier, every piece of evidence, every contract clause, every lie. The press conference was set. In 48 hours, the world would know the truth. If Daichi didn't stop at first, Shota returned to his apartment, dossier in hand. Ayaka stood by the window, arms crossed, eyes red.
Ayaka, look. The photos are composite. Daichi paid a service to create them. I never betrayed you.
I saw the report. The analyst sent it. I should have believed you from the start.
She fell into his arms, tears soaking his shirt. For the first time in weeks, the wall between them crumbled. Across town, Yuji sat with Kaede in their quiet living room. The same damning documents spread between them.
Yuji, the timestamps, the email. It was all a setup. How could I have doubted you?
We were both fooled. But now we know the truth. I always loved only you.
They held each other as the weight of suspicion lifted. Two fractured marriages began to heal in the shadows.
Now I have everything to fight for. For her. For us.
Two families reunited in secret. But the world still pointed fingers. Tomorrow, they would take back their names. In a quiet conference room, Shota and Yuji sat with their lawyers. The dossier spread before them, forensic reports, the secret clause, Daichi's email.
Every piece is here. Tomorrow, the world sees the truth. The press release goes out now. By midnight, every reporter will know we're speaking.
The announcement flashed across media. Disgraced F1 duo to speak. Speculation ignited. In his office, Daichi's phone buzzed with the same headline. His face drained of color.
They're really going through with it. If I don't stop them now, I lose everything.
He scrambled for his phone, dialing a private number, a fixer with a reputation for burying scandals.
Leak a story. Those two are colluding, faking evidence. Destroy their credibility before they speak.
The fixer agreed. A counter-narrative would hit the wires within hours, but Daichi's smirk was soaked in sweat. 12 hours remained. In the warehouse, Shota and Yuji stood together, ready to face the storm. At dawn, the fixer's story broke. A headline, "Drivers colluding to save careers," flashed on every screen. Daichi's counterattack had begun.
They call us liars again. When we walk out tomorrow, the world will see who's fake. The board is nervous. They're demanding to see the evidence early.
A board member's voice crackled through the speakerphone. "Prove your innocence by noon, or you are out."
We have the proof. Daichi's email, the contract clause, everything. The conference is tomorrow. We've prepared a statement addressing the collusion claim. The truth is consistent.
In the warehouse, they worked through the new doubt, strengthening their presentation. The wives called, offering to appear.
Let me stand with you. If they see us together, they'll believe you.
Not yet. After we present the evidence, then we walk out together. That's when it'll mean something.
Daichi watched the news cycle spin, a venomous hope glinting in his eyes. The storm was coming, and he still believed he could ride it. The morning of the press conference, a gauntlet of reporters swarmed the venue entrance.
You are asking if we colluded? Number, we're exposing fraud. There's a difference. The photo evidence. We'll show you exactly how it was faked. Every pixel will be laid bare.
They pushed forward through the chaos, microphones thrust at their faces, flashes blinding.
Every camera is a weapon against us. Until we turn them around, just get inside. The evidence speaks louder than this circus.
They reached the stage door. Beyond it, the podiums waited under harsh lights.
After this, nothing will be the same, but at least the truth will be out.
The low hum of the crowd seeped through. Expectation and skepticism mingled. They stepped onto the stage, side by side. The world was about to watch. The night before the storm, the warehouse fell silent save for the shuffle of papers and low voices.
We start with the forensic report. Show them the pixel inconsistencies, then the security log. And when we put the contract clause on screen, no one will doubt the motive. 80 million reasons.
The warehouse door creaked. Ayaka and Kaede stepped in, no longer rivals but pillars.
We heard you practicing. You don't have to do this alone anymore.
We'll be right behind the curtain. When you call us, we'll come out together.
After they see the proof, we call you out. That image will say everything. This is bigger than us now. It's about every driver who could be abused.
They stood in a circle, hands clasped. Two drivers, two wives, a family forged in fire. They rehearsed until dawn. Then they walked onto the stage, ready to rewrite history. The conference room fell silent as Shota and Yuji stood at their podiums. Cameras rose, flashes burst.
For 10 years, Yuji and I have been enemies on the track. But today, we are allies against a common fraud. The photos you saw in those tabloids were fabricated. We have forensic proof.
The screen behind them lit up with the composite analysis before and after images, mismatched pixels.
This red area is where the original photo was cut. The lighting angles don't match. It's a composite. We also have the timestamps. Only one person was in the room when the originals were taken.
A murmur rippled through the crowd of reporters. Some leaned forward.
Fools. They haven't named me yet, but they're getting too close.
The person who created those images is here today, and his motive is written in our contracts.
The room tensed. Every lens turned to the screen, waiting for the next slide. A forensic analyst stepped from the wings to the podium, her tablet linked to the main screen.
We examined the photos at the pixel level. The EXIF data was altered, and the lighting vectors are physically impossible.
The screen split in two, the original security photo and the doctored tabloid version. Red circles highlighted every discrepancy.
You can see where the head was swapped. The shadows fall the opposite direction from the original. Now, the timestamp evidence. The original photos were taken at 1432 on the 3rd of June. The composite wasn't created until the 5th of June.
Security log. Entry at 1432 D. Yamamoto. Camera serial matches original source. Reporters scribbled furiously. The skepticism in the room began to erode.
We have established the photos are fake. Now, we will show you who created them and why. The next document is a contract clause. A consulting fee payable to our team principal, Daichi Yamamoto.
The room gasped. All eyes darted to the screen as the contract clause began to appear.
This is Clause 12C. It was buried in our contracts, added by Daichi himself.
Consulting fee clause. In the event of dual termination for cause, the team principal receives the equivalent of aggregate salary savings, estimated at $80 million.
That's over 80 million reasons he wanted us out. He fabricated the affair to trigger this clause.
The numbers burned on the screen. $80 million. Daichi's face drained of color. Reporters gasped. The room erupted into whispers and frantic note-taking.
He already had 2 rookies ready to sign for half the salary. We were disposable to him. Our careers, our marriages, all just numbers on his spreadsheet.
In the crowd, Daichi's sweat dripped onto his blazer. He looked toward the exit, but the board members near him crossed their arms. There would be no escape. The motive was exposed, but the most damning evidence was yet to come.
And here is the order. An email from Daichi Yamamoto to a photo manipulation service instructing them to create the composites.
Email from Daichi Yamamoto. Create 2 affair composites using the attached photos. Payment wired. Urgent digital receipt. Payment of $12. 000 from Daichi Yamamoto to PhotoFix Inc.
This is a fabrication. Those emails are forged.
Security guards moved toward Daichi as reporters' cameras swung to capture his meltdown.
The email headers matched Daichi's IP address. The bank transfer has his signature. He paid to destroy us. Every piece of evidence points to one man. Daichi Yamamoto orchestrated the scandal for his own profit.
You'll regret this. I'll sue every one of you.
The room erupted into chaos. Reporters shouted questions. Camera flashes blinded the stage. But the evidence was crystal clear. The board members in the front row leaned toward one another, whispering urgently. One of the board members walked to the microphone and tapped it twice. Silence fell. On behalf of the board, Daichi Yamamoto is stripped of all duties as team principal. Effective immediately, security officers grabbed Daichi's arms. He was pulled from his seat, red-faced and screaming. Shota and Yuji shared a look of relief. After everything, they were free. Reporters rushed forward, their questions blending into a roar.
Our names are cleared. Daichi Yamamoto is the culprit. Every piece of evidence pointed to one man, and now the world knows.
Side by side, they walked off the stage, leaving the uproar behind them. The board members remained seated, stone-faced, processing what had just happened. The press conference had ended, But the aftershocks were only beginning. Backstage, Ayaka and Kaede waited with tear-streaked faces. Now, they stepped into the light.
We were wrong. We believed those fabricated lies, but we see the truth now.
We love you both. We never stopped, even in the darkest moments of doubt.
The couples embraced on stage, cameras flashing, the world watching a family mend.
I am sorry you were hurt by his schemes. This nightmare is finally over. We almost lost everything that mattered. But now we are whole again.
Ayaka and Kaede held up the new newspaper. Drivers exonerated, their smiles genuine at last.
We will stand beside you both, always. No more doubts or lies.
Together, we are stronger than any scheme. Our families will never be torn apart again.
The four stood united before the cameras, their shattered lives rebuilt, their futures aligned. 6 months later, a headline flashed across every sports network: rival drivers by team. Shota Takahashi and Yuji Nakamura jointly acquire the team, becoming co-principals. In the executive office, Shota and Yuji sat across from lawyers, signing the final documents.
We never imagined owning this team together, but it's the only way to protect our legacy. No more hidden clauses. We run this team with transparency for the drivers and the fans.
Behind them, the new Phoenix logo gleamed, a symbol of rebirth from the ashes of deceit.
We'll do better than what we had. That's our promise to every driver who steps into this garage. Our rivalry brought us here. Now our partnership will take us forward.
They shook hands firmly, not as competitors, but as co-owners of a new era. The paddock that once divided them now stood as their foundation. The paddock hummed with the roar of engines, but Shota and Yuji stood apart, eyes locked on a telemetry tablet.
The front wing setting is off. Adjust by 1/2 degree, and we'll gain 2/10 in Sector 2. I'll have engineering run the simulation now. For once, I won't fight your call. It feels strange, working with you instead of against you. Strange, but overdue. We should have done this the moment he first pitted us.
The crew paused to watch the two, disbelief melting into cautious smiles.
He used us against each other. We're going to use the team against the next him.
A rare smirk passed between them, hard-earned and lighter than any trophy. They shook hands, then strode into the paddock, co-principals in every stride. At the next Grand Prix, Shota and Yuji stood atop the podium together, trophy raised high as champagne sprayed. The crowd roared for the two who had turned their rivalry into an unbreakable alliance. Daichi Yamamoto walked away from the team headquarters, a cardboard box clutched to his chest, head bowed. No cameras followed him now. He was a man who had gambled everything and lost. On a desk in their new office, a framed photograph of the two couples, smiling together, stood beside a newspaper clipping. The headline read, "Team Principal Framed Drivers." Shota and Yuji looked at each other, a quiet understanding passing between them. From rivals to partners, from betrayal to triumph, Daichi disappeared into the crowd, a forgotten relic of a darker time. The team stood stronger than ever, built on trust and justice, with the promise of a future free from deceit.